What is up, everybody, and welcome right back to another episode of Emphasis on Sports. I'm your host, Damon Anthony, and welcome to episode number 9. It's actually kind of crazy to think that this is episode number 9. I'm actually kind of rolling with this thing, but I've heard some good feedback. I know some things I need to tweak, need to work on, but I appreciate anybody that's out there checking me out, checking on us, and listening. Right, so let's get to it. So, of course, major stuff going on right now is the Olympics. We know, USA, we always do well in the Olympics. Some things have been huge thus far, namely the women's gymnastics team. Once again, shout out to Simone Biles, shout out to Suni Lee, Jordan Childs, shout out to all the ladies that's really been out there and kicking ass. Definitely appreciate y'all. It's real cool to see just the love and affection for the women's gymnastics team. Um, Now, beyond that, today we finally started track and field. Track and field has opened up. Right, we started today. Shakari Richardson, she went out, dusted everybody in her 100 heats. We expect great deals out of her. Definitely think that she's going to take home the 100, maybe get a world record there. That's just hope, of course. We know Noah Lyles; he's definitely going to be keep competing, trying to get the 1 and the 200 gold. Big shout out, do your thing. There was also a lot of heats for relays and some other races. We did see a world record set by our 4x400 mixed relay team, which, and when mixed, that means there's 2 men, 2 women. Went out, set a world record. So Shannon Sharp actually has to pay them 50 grand. Well, he's going to split that half and half with Ocho. Let's talk about that for a second. I want to send a big shout out to Shannon Sharp and Ocho because it's really, really cool what they're doing. If anyone doesn't know, most countries, when their Olympians go and compete in the Olympics, if they get a gold, they get a stipend from their country, right? And that stipend's usually pretty ample. Comparisons to U.S. dollars, 50 grand and above. Some countries 100 grand. Some countries more than that. In the U.S. of A, 37 grand. That's what they get for competing for the country, for bringing home a gold, for providing, to be honest, entertainment for those of us that aren't athletes and that aren't out there competing. That compared to what professional athletes make here, when at the end of the day, these athletes make that money based on viewership, TV deals, how many eyes are on their sport, how many people are buying the merch, how many people are going to these events, and these people make millions of dollars. There's a reason why Flavor Flav sponsored the women's water polo team. They don't really make money. And if you're only going to give 37 grand to a winner, plus tax them on that gold medal, we got to do better. So I really, really love the fact that old Shannon Sharp, and Chad Ochocinco, they decided to throw some money at any United States Olympian that breaks a world record. And then they have a list of track stars that if they win, they'll give them 25 grand out of their pocket. Really, really awesome to see. And we should see a lot of companies, a lot of sponsors actually sponsoring a stipend. I'm not going to put that on people. That's why it's so great to see some of these people, to see Flavor Flav, to see Shannon Sharp, to see some of the money that's being raised for these Americans. Is really awesome to see. But at the same time, let's get some of these sponsors in there. Whoever's running this whole thing for America, the Olympic Committee, I'm pretty sure that they're seeing a nice kickback from NBC, for instance. Let's say NBC and Peacock. I know that they probably had to give up millions and millions, $1 billion or whatever it is to be able to carry that coverage. And now it's on streaming platform for everybody to see. Well, whoever they gave that money to, how about you throw a little bit at the actual Olympians? That would make a little bit of sense, I would think. Um, just my thoughts there, but I like to see, people get their just due. Just like my ass has been plopping down watching the Olympics every day, talking about the Olympics every day, fully locked in. I can imagine across the country, the excitement when people are at work, when people go home, when people wake up. You spend your whole off days rooting for the USA and watching these games. Well, we're watching them because of the athletes that are out there. And these athletes, they're not only providing us entertainment, but they're providing us pride. And they're working their butts off to get out there and get after it and just compete and try and medal. And for some reason or another, the USA almost always leads medals in the Olympics, right? It's because of those athletes. Let's pay them right. Let's get them a little money. Let's get them a little something. They don't have to have multi-million-dollar contracts, but let's give them something. More than 37 grand. We got to do better than that, I would think. All right. Other Olympic news. I got to apologize. Got to apologize to our 3-on-3 basketball competitors. Yesterday, I said throw them all out. Well, today, they showed up and showed out. Not only the men, but the women. They did very good today, won multiple games, and they're still playing. Now, I'm apologizing because they were trash and they got a little better. But I'm not apologizing in my stance that maybe we need different players, especially on the men's team. Now, on the women's team, you can get some of the other WNBA All Stars that didn't get on the women's national team. Boom, there's your 3-on-3 right there. There should be no problem there. In the men's, I don't know if it's an Adam Silver thing. I don't know if it's a powers that be thing. While we don't have other current NBA players in the 3-on-3, but I'm going to go with something that my man Ice Cube said today. The big homie, Big Cube. Um, he actually, he runs the Big Three, um, the Big Three League, and he actually said, you know what? If we take a team of Big Three guys over there, we actually absolutely get the gold. I believe he's right, but I believe you could shake that up a little bit, right? So of course you got ISO Joe Johnson. Throw him in there. Give me some Michael Beasley. He's a walking bucket. Give me Jeff Teague, pure point guard. But then these other two guys, right, just to round out a team of five, you got to have some people off the bench. Give me Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, he's been to the Olympics. He knows what to do. The guy ain't no slouch. He's been dominating over in Taiwan or Chinese Taipei. He's been over there killing it. And the last guy, especially since it's a half court game, Carmelo Anthony. We know he's in shape. We see him out there playing with his son. We see him practicing with him and just trying to teach him the game, showing him with some other players. You put him in a half court situation, you say walk in bucket? Remember, before Kevin Durant, there was Carmelo. Carmelo's big thing just more so was defense. But the one thing that dude could do was fill that bucket up. Let's think about that for the next go round. Let's think about some of these other players that we know can play basketball. No shot at the guys that are playing, but it's okay if somebody's better. That's all right. It's kind of like being a backup quarterback. You can't be mad at it if your Patrick Mahomes is backup. He's Patrick Mahomes, right? So live with the fact that maybe we need some better players out there. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I know we can get that done, right? So let's just move forward with that. All right. Rowing has also begun. We did take home, I believe, a silver in rowing in one of the events. I haven't got a chance to sit down and watch it. I love to watch rowing. It's one of those things that I know I'm not going to get out there and do, but it's just fantastic to watch. The Olympics has been ridiculous thus far. Like it's been awesome. Always great TV. Really doesn't matter who you're watching. Pick a sport, and you might just lock in and might become your favorite sport. I know a lot of people have been on badminton and table tennis. Table tennis has become a big one this year, and I think we'll continue to show a lot of love, just going around the country. Table tennis is something that almost everybody plays. We just call it ping pong, and you get after it with your friends, um, bet some money, go hard, do your thing, and you always think that you're the best, and then you see the Olympians, and then you realize you're all right. You're pretty good. You're not great. Right. So it's been real cool just seeing some of that stuff. Real cool. Last night, Hall of Fame game, Bears Texans. Ended up getting rained out at the end of the game. Just crazy, nasty weather here in Northeast Ohio. Got to protect the players, got to have safety there. Totally get that. Congratulations and just big love to everybody that got put into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Big shout out to my guy, Patrick Willis, one of my all time favorite players. One of the best linebackers ever to do it. Finally got his props, got his love. Um, I mean, got nothing much more to say about him. He walked out at the right time for him as a fan. Everybody felt like it was a little early, but when your brain, your body, your family says it's time to move on, it's time to move on. Never, never, never a hard feeling about Patrick Willis. We get it. That dude did his thing. We understand. Much love, Mr. Willis. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about, Willis? That's what you always got to say when it comes to Patrick, right? All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, I want to give a little love to Mr. Skip Bayless. From what I understand and what I saw his tweet. Today was his last day on FS1. Now, there's going to be a lot of people. There's always a lot of people that have very different thoughts when it comes to Skip Bayless, and they're all understandable. But let's give him his flowers. Skip's been around and he's been on our TV, been in our newspapers, been on all sorts of platforms for a very long time, for a very long time, and he's done very well, not only for himself but for others. Let's not slide back past the fact that he's brought a lot of people with him into this and along on this, and there's some people that sit in some of those chairs who they have to give a little bit of credit to him. Not going to say that he, just placed people in spots, but if you're sitting across from Skip, chances are he probably gave the thumbs up and the go ahead. As polarizing and as divisive as Skip can be, he's also good at his job. Also very entertaining. He's not always right. He has some allegiances where he leans just awkwardly towards some of them. But at the end of the day, he's a legend. He's a star. Um, all of those things, all the superlatives you want to throw his way, he deserves. Like I said, you may not like him. You may not. There's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that disagree with everything he says. I definitely disagree with some of the stuff he says, but he does make some good points. And at the end of the day, he's doing his job. His job is to make us watch. And sometimes being polarizing and divisive, it's what makes you watch. So shout out to Skip Bayless. Um, Whatever it is that you're going to do in the future, brother, I wish you well. I know you're going to do great. You've done great at all the rest of it, right? But I am okay with not having to hear you say, how about them Cowboys again? Definitely can move past that. But shout out, one love to Skip Bayless. The last bit of news, I'm just going to let y'all know, I will not be doing the show tomorrow. My ass has to work about 13 hours. I got a real busy day at work. When I get home, I'm doing nothing more than cracking a brew, kicking my feet up, and catching up on the Olympics. That's that. That being said, y'all have a great night, great day, great wherever you are, great whatever you're doing. One love, y'all.